Very happy to join with ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, welcome on evening. I'm Osman Sakaga, the presentation.
Weekly news, the news to English speakers.
Thanks for your loyalty to the program of Renouveau TV. Ladies and gentlemen, we start this news with a celebration of Christmas. The Christmas community of Mali, like that of the world, commemorated this week of the Feast of Christmas in the Evangelic Church of Bamako under the theme Vigilance. During these feast, prayers and messages of peace were addressed to the Malian nation. Report.
The joy was immense in the ears of the faithful of the Protestant Church of Bamako this Thursday evening during the commemoration of the birth of Jesus Christ through songs and praises of worship. In this message, the pastor invited the faithful to persevere in prayer. According to Pastor Dako, if Malian Christians had turned their weapon of war into prayer, Mali would not be in a very critical situation. Prayers and blessings were made for the stability of the country and the smooth running of future elections. Christmas 2020 at the Protestant Church in Bamako was embellished by the performances of the Francophone, Bambaraphone, and Kidron Chor.
Talking always about the Christian community, the Evangelical Protestant Church of Yirmajo Logement Socio didn't remain on the sideline of this commemoration. The theme chosen was the new Mali and the new Malian that God wants. This Christmas feast was an opportunity for the Christian community to recall the context in which the country is going through. It is also an occasion for the Christian community to recall the context in which the country is going through. It was a time for the community to pray for peace in our country. The president of the church, women urged Christians to be instrument of change for the new Malian in a new Mali. Blessings were given for a definitive way out of crisis that has lasted too long in Mali. Their meeting with the Minister of Territorial Administration and Decentralization and the Digital Economy, the umbrella organization of the press, met last Tuesday morning with the media to take stock of the meeting. According to them, an agreement has been reached between the two parties. However, the arrest on Monday evening of Mohamed Yusuf Bachili alias Rasbach will paradise this agreement. Details with Zenebus Chiro.
An agreement seems to be reached between the two parties, namely the government and the press, which rise up against the violation of freedom of expression and the muzzling of the press decreed on Friday by the transitional military authorities. In front of the press, the spokesperson for the press was delighted with this good outcome, putting himself in his shoes as the president of the Union of Free Radio and Television of Mali, Banjougou Dante, describes the arrest of Mohamed Yusuf Bachili alias Rasbat as an attack on democracy. To preserve press freedom and democracy, by extension, the president of the Union of
International gold traffic seizure of more than 143 kilograms of gold by Malian customs. During the night from Saturday to Sunday between CB and Kuremali, Malian customs seized more than 143 kilograms of gold from an individual who was about to leave the country. This operation allowed, in addition to the seizure of the gold bars, the arrest of the driver and the owner of the yellow mirror. It was a Guinean vehicle that the folks wanted to smuggle 88 gold bar with a market value of over 4 billion CFA francs to Conakry, Guinea, but that was without counting on the vigilance and efficiency of the gabelous. And according to custom officials, It was the vigilance of Bankumana Custom Control that enabled the suspect vehicle to be arrested. Up to date, the driver of the vehicle and the owner of the 88 gold bars are being thoroughly investigated to demand this smuggling network. Musa Kuyate alias Atete Jr., victim of armed attack on the night of Wednesday 24 to Thursday 24th December in Bamako. Atete Jr. was victim of an armed attack not far from the Gabriel Touré Hospital. According to the sources contacted, an identified gunman waited for him to stop at the traffic light to shoot him. He was brought to Gabriel Touré Hospital. There was more fear than harm. His life is no longer in danger. The Manly Chamber of Mines held its 8th session of the Councillor Assembly on Tuesday, December 22nd at the headquarters of the National Employers Council of Manly. Placed under the sign of mining that respect the environment and the future, the ceremony was an opportunity for the President of the Chamber of Mines to take stock of the year 2020. The opening ceremony was chaired by the Minister of Mines, Energy and Water, Renouveau, chair for more details.
The agenda of this 8th session of the Consular Assembly for the Chamber of Mines focused on the presentation of the result of the activities carried out in 2020 and the examination of the draft budget for 2021. Despite the difficult health context that has disrupted the year 2020, the Chamber of Mines presented a positive assessment. Although these achievements of the mining sector still faces some problems, the Minister of Mines, Energy and Water assured the actor of the mining sector of the state. It should be remembered that the Mali Chamber of Mines, as a part of the fight against COVID-19, has carried out information and awareness campaigns on gold panning sites. It also gave hand-washing kits to the various delegates from the regions for this consular assembly.
The Treasury Union branch stepped up to the plate after 2 of their colleagues were arrested. They held a press briefing at the National Directorate of the Treasury and Public Accounting this Thursday, December 24th, to denounce the situation of kidnapping and sequestration against 2 senior accountants of the Treasury. According to report, these people were arrested in their workplaces at the beginning of the week. Trafficking, dismantling an international cocaine trafficking network in Bamako. On December 15th at about 6 a.m., the Operations Division of the Central Narcotic Office coordinated simultaneously operations to arrest dealers in Yirumajo in Kamin 6 of the district of Bamako and in Jelibugu in Kamin 1 of the district of Bamako, which resulted in the dismantling of international cocaine trafficking network. Details.
Indeed, it was following the arrest of the cocaine user that the investigation unit of the Central Narcotic Office pushed the investigation to identify a first supplier who would live in Yirumajo. Surveillance and intelligence mission made it possible to identify the richest person, his home, and his network. Armed with this information, a team from the right bank antenna of the OCS was set in motion in the morning of December 15, 2020 at around 6 a.m., where it arrested Sheikh Jallo in possession of 10 grams of cocaine, 32.68 grams of hashish representing the residue of its merchandise sold the previous night, and various cocaine recycling materials. At the same time, a team from the left bank antenna went to Jelibugu to arrest Usman Jaki Jara, who is believed to be the first major client of Sheikh Jallo. During the research of Usman Jaki Jara's home, a cracked and off-cracked workshop was discovered. During their interrogations, the 2 individuals questioned denounced the supplier Akpati Obi, a Nigerian national, researched for 8 months by the OCS office in Bamako for international drug trafficking. Thus, a team was sent to the Apodrome 2 neighborhood in Commune 2 of the district of Bamako, where they proceeded to arrest him with cocaine recycling equipment. Investigations are continuing at the right and left bank antenna under the coordination of the Operations Division to dismantle the rest of the network.
Oxfam organized this week a national forum commemorating the Resolution 2250 on the involvement and participation of young people in the peace-building process in Mali as part of the implementation of the Young Right to Education, Participation, and the Peace-Building Project. This commemoration forum for the 5th anniversary of the UNSC Resolution 2250 has reaffirmed young citizen engagement, a bridge for the establishment of lasting peace in Mali. Report.
Adopted unanimously on December 9, 2015 by the United Nations Security Council, the Resolution 2250 pays particular attention to taking into account the specific needs of young people and their point of view in the policy, programs, and distribution of funds related to peace processes, security, conflict resolution, rehabilitation, reintegration, and post-conflict reconstruction. The resolution specifies that young people are particularly affected by conflict and that it is important that they be at the center of decision for the restoration of peace in Mali. Opportunity for partners to express their commitment to the implementation of this project favoring young people as the main actors in peace building. The objective of this project called Youth Rise to Education, Participation, and Consolidation of Peace is to promote youth, since it's through them that the integration, participation of the implementation of the peace process in Mali occurs.
The commemoration of the 5th edition of the International Day of Universal Health Coverage took place this Tuesday, December 22nd at the Pyramide de Souvenirs, organized by the Platform, a civil society organization for the promotion of universal health coverage in Mali. This day aims to promote the establishment of a universal health insurance scheme to improve financial accessibility of population to health care quality. Report Renouveau.
Let's accelerate the establishment of RAMU to improve the financial accessibility of the population to quality health care. This is the theme chosen by the Platform of Civil Society Organizations for the Promotion of Coverage Universal Health in Mali to celebrate this day, an opportunity for the platform to highlight the achievements and project themselves on future needs. The Ministry of Health and Social Development supports and encourages this initiative by civil society organizations to promote universal health coverage in Mali, an initiative that will benefit Malians. In Mali, the Universal Health Insurance Scheme, a mechanism of universal health coverage, is based on 3 pillars, namely compulsory health insurance, AMO, the medical assistance regime, RAMED, and mutual health organizations, MTS.
Malian nation in mourning. The leader of the political opposition class and president of the Union for the Republican Democracy, URD, Soumaïla Cissé, passed away from COVID-19 this Friday, December 25th in Paris, France. Main opponent of the deposit regime of Ibrahim Boubacar Keïta, the former head of the West African Economic and Monetary Union, had become discreet on the political scene since his release by terrorists on October 5th after 6 months in captivity. Commentary.
The bad news came shortly before 10 a.m. Soumaïla Cissé died on Christmas Day in Paris, France, where he had been evacuated for treatment. The native of Nyafunke in the Timbuktu region, who celebrated his 71st birthday just a few days ago, made political history in democratic Mali with his glorious participation in free presidential elections. First in 2002, he surprised everyone with his score in the first round of the presidential election and faced General Amadou Toumani Touré in the second round. He lost the election. During the 10 years of ATT, the founding president of URD fades from the scene. He opted for international posts, notably the presidency of the West African Economic and Monetary Union. In 2013, he faced Ibrahim Boubacar Keïta in the second round of the presidential election. The latter, supported by religious leaders, won the election with 77% of the votes. Soumaïla Cissé recognized his defeat and this time he joined the opposition. He ran for the legislative elections of November 2013 and was elected in the first round in Nyafunke. Together with other political parties and civil society organizations, that will not make things easy for Ibrahim Boubacar Keïta throughout his first 5-year term. In 2017, Soumaïla Cissé and his allies opposed the constitutional revision and obtained the cancellation of the referendum ballot after several weeks of contestation. The following year, he ran for presidency in July. He forced the outgoing president to go to the second round, the first in Mali since the advent of democracy. He lost again, according to the result proclaimed by the Constitutional Court. Unlike in 2013, Soumaïla Cissé doesn't admit his defeat, but he let it be known peacefully. It's off to a new 5-year term of opposition. The new adversary contract with Ibeka was ended on March 25, 2020, when he was taken hostage by terrorists in the midst of legislative campaign in Nyafunke. On his release on October 5, Ibrahim Boubacar Keïta had already been overthrown by a military coup d'etat on 18th of August. The death of Soumaïla Cissé upset the political scene in Mali as a whole. May your soul rest in peace, Soumaïla Cissé.
Rest in peace, President Soumaïla Cissé. Here takes an end the weekly news. In a minute, we're going to deal with the second part of the program, which is the guest of the week.